everyone, Suzi here, and today we're playing Godforge. For today's video, we have to talk about, well, a lot of features in the game that you might have missed. Alright, so I am here in Alpha Wave 2. Now, this video is just Suzi the content creator, not Suzi from Fateless the community manager, but yes, I do work for Fateless. But I wanted to put out a proper gameplay and advice video based on the things that I noticed and what people are always talking about in the Discords, and just some features that maybe aren't so obvious at first because this is an alpha. So a lot of the tutorials are a bit limited and it's not so obvious what to do at some points, or some things that exist that you might not even realize exist. So what might you have missed? Let's start with the overall game itself. So if you want to move your game to another screen, there is a way. You just hit the Windows key and the return key, the up arrow, that whatever it looks like for your keyboard, the enter, the return, and hold down Windows. And then you use your arrow keys on by the number pad, and you can literally move your entire full screen to another device. This works for any game or any application that goes full screen on a Windows. So, pro tip there. Another tip, if you want to play windowed because you have a big stretched monitor, or you like to have multiple games running at the same time, you can hit, what is it? Alt-Enter? Yes, Alt-Enter, and see, now we are windowed. Hey! And that if you need to adjust, you can. But keep in mind, we're not necessarily optimized to do that. If you scrunch your screen, this is gonna happen because the UI is not optimized for different Windows resolutions at the moment. So if you are going to be windowed, please do try to keep within the same aspect ratio to make sure, or make sure the UI isn't crunched when you're looking at stuff. It'll help make the experience smoother for you, right? Okay, so that's one thing I think a lot of people might not realize, but yeah, then you just hit Alt-Enter again to go back to full screen, and here we are. So in the roster, there's a lot of little things to note as well. So let's say you're crunching food. Let's talk promotions. And you need to get more people for these 5 stars. Okay, cool. Oh no, there's nobody. Oh wait, this is not a good example. Let me go here. Let's say you have no 3-star spirits and you don't want to crunch the only rares that you have. So okay, I need to take this common or uncommon from a 1-star to a 2-star to a 3-star, right? Just like a normal food progression system. So when you are here and you want to do that, you can, for one, you can drag this. You can also just click the star and then click here. Let's pretend I have no spirits. So you can actually just sort right here. Sort, boom, done. Easy 2-star food, right? Okay, now I want to bring him to 3-star. Boom. It actually keeps the sort based on your preference of the lower ones first. So if you want to make a bunch of 1-stars a 2-star because you're not having the spirits or fodder you need, don't change them to spirits right away in case you need to adjust some of them, unless you're full on space. But just simply come back, same thing. Hit 2-star, hit here, and look it's remembering the commons are there. Boom, boom, done. So if I wanted to turn all of my 1-stars into 2-stars really quick because I was short on those, I would just simply, oop, this is the 1-star I just did, sorry. I would click on him. If it lets, why doesn't it, oh, this is the one. See, so there's a little bit of bugs, this one got upgraded, but it's not showing it, or for some reason, I don't know, it does that sometimes. Just a little quirks with alpha. But here we are, we're on the Jackal for sure, we're hitting upgrade, we are hitting 2-star, hit this, and boom, it is sorted. So if you're running low on space, that is one thing you can do, is make sure you get those, or if you're missing a certain star hero. Now, you're also seeing this button here. So if you want to make sure you have not a capped roster, especially if you're about to go farm one of these stages that end in 5 or 10 in order to get more heroes. So it's best to make sure you go through and crunch things. So that is a fun point now, is you can easily just go like this, right? And crunch your rares, your uncommons, even hell, even your epics, even your legendaries if you need to. This is an alpha after all. And we do provide, like, there are many, I guess, opportunities to farm heroes, and it becomes very generous. So if you need to get that 4-star chicken because you already have a Musashi that's Awakened 5, and you don't want his imprint, you can literally just crunch all of these and unbind, okay? Easy, easy. Alright, so next. Stats in the roster. So we're looking at our character, let's say... who's a little slow? Probably... Oh, everyone's actually pretty fast now. I did good. He's slow. Let's say you're going through and you realize everyone is just slow. You can see your stats, right? But what does speed mean? What does initiative mean? You can actually click on them. So initiative increases the amount of divinity generated by your hero in battle, which is required to use your ultimate. More initiative will make your ultimate happen more frequently. How does that differ from speed? Speed increases your pace in the battle. More speed will make your hero take their turn faster. So if you need to go first or before the enemies, in general, speed is still king for that initial first hit. But coming back to your ultimates as fast as possible, which you can only use during your turn, it's all about initiative. But what about accuracy, resistance? So in Godforge, sorry guys, if I'm gonna accidentally, when I'm being Suzi the content creator, I'm still in my brain mode of working for Fateless sometimes, so I'm probably gonna say in our game, or we, a lot. It's just a force of habit as trying to be that way for like Discord and chatter and other stuff, or when I'm on the podcast. So apologize if I switch back and forth. It's just getting used to the transitions. I haven't made a lot of videos on Godforge yet, where I'm not talking also as the community manager. So sorry, getting my brain there. Okay, anyway, accuracy is a stat, obviously to help you place debuffs, disables, right? But also increases your hero's chance to strong hit. So that is a really cool factor here. The elements, which you can also click on, something you might have missed. You can click on the Defender, the Affinity, the Alliance or Allegiance, and now the Faction. And have all the details there. But here, Affinity provides a 30% extra chance to strong hit, which increases damage by 30%. So a strong hit is a 30% damage increase on top of whatever your hit already is. And that's off the base chance of the hit. So 30% chance increase with a positive affinity, which these ones are the same as like Raid. I know some games like Pokemon do it backward the other way, and Raid became backward. Summoner's War I think is the same as Raid. Infinite Magic Raid is the other way. Awakened Chaos Era is the other way. They're all different, but we have it here. There's a nice little visual. If you played Raid, this should be easy to remember. Chances to weak hit, blah, blah, blah. Everything is right here, and that is explained. But that's what's so interesting about Godforge is resistance and accuracy don't get wasted on heroes that are only damage dealers that don't do debuffs and disables. Or a buffer, even. You know, everyone can benefit from having a lower chance to get a big smack on you. Also reduces critical damage inflicted upon this hero as a resistance. Really interesting, right? I love that. Super cool. Plus, you're just gonna have these chances to weak hit based on affinity, whatever. But I love that. I think that's just a unique way to make accuracy not wasted when you have that stat on a great piece of gear for a damage dealer. Okay, so we talked about this. I'm trying to make sure I remember all the things. Oh, details. All right, so abilities. When you're clicking on your abilities and you want to see what your hero does, you can click here, details. Okay, you can see their multipliers, but what does attack down 1 mean? You just click on it. There are some that are missing descriptions. Feel free to report those as a bug. But this is here. What does a shield mean? It absorbs incoming damage equal to the strength of the shield before depleting HP. Shields cannot stack or be increased. They are different than barriers. Protect, what does protect do? So all of that is here in the details, and you can see this in the battle as well, which I will show too. Alright, hero roster, again I mentioned already, is capped at 150, but you cannot see that unfortunately, so just try to be... If you're about to go farm a bunch of, trying to get legendaries from floor 30, 40, 50, onward, whatever it might be, or you're about to go farm stages 35, 45, 55 to get those ascension materials, then try to clear out some of your characters again via the way I showed you, just by destroying some to make sure that you have the space. So try to do that on a regular basis if needed. Not saying you should just do that to everybody, because there are some cases where you need uncommons to 2-star, or commons to 2-star, or a certain character might be better than you think, and maybe you actually want to use one of those characters that have like an ally team up or something else fun. Okay, so in order to unlock passives, this is something important. So when we're looking at abilities, I have YDG here. I'm going to keep calling him YDG like the staff does, because it's a lot easier than pronouncing his name. There's a passive, but there's a lock on this passive, and it doesn't tell you how to unlock it, right? So passives are unlocked when you go to your, actually, upgrade, ascending. Ascension 3 is when your passives unlock. So you do have to ascend your characters to Ascension 3 in order to get that, which can be a huge key in their overall kit and synergy. So if you're reading their kit and you're like, oh, that sounds amazing, make sure you go farm to get their passives unlocked before you continue onward, like I have tried to do here. And I'm going to do for OIDG here, so he gets even more damage when they're under Blaze and Aether Burn. So a fun mechanic there. Now, let's go into a battle, right? Let's go into the caverns. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I'm on stage 48. All right, now what? So one of the biggest things I think that is easy to not notice is you can long press and get all the info here. This is going to be what gear is on your characters, weapons. What do the set bonuses do? What are those exact pieces of gear? Let's see, you can long press on anyone, but not down here in the bottom, just over on this left side. And you can see, what is this piece of gear? Oh my gosh, I have a rank 5 speed boot. Yes, I do. What are the abilities? What do they do? Everything is viewable here. It's such a nice way to compartmentalize that. Okay, if you need heroes that are chaos, well, this is the symbol for chaos. If you need heroes from Omeacon, that's how you see that as well. So all of this, slayers, brawlers. The only thing here is it doesn't show the name. Oh, no, it's strength. Duh. It says right at the top. I'm blind. Strength heroes. This is what a strength hero looks like, the red symbol. So that is a way to see all the details, your stats, everything. And again, you can still click everything, even in the mini menu, which is awesome. I love that. And then you could also sort now. So sorting. You can actually sort by faction. So you're looking for heroes that are Aru. Here they are. Aru. All of these heroes are Aru. Okay, now we're on to Asgard. Here's some Asgard heroes, right? Super easy to see. And now before we go into a battle, let's talk about the order. So the hero order matters, how you position them, okay? So let's say we have Dagonet here. His ultimate is an attack, so less of a concern for the order that they're gonna do stuff. If he was, let's say you have someone that's doing an AoE defense down, right? That might be very possible. And you could want to, who did I just, yeah, I'll leave that. All right, let's pretend Ramses did the defense down. You want to make sure he's first if he's not also your aura, so that way, if the ultimates become ready at the same time, or within the same round, to where when you take your turn, you have 2 or 3 ultimates ready, the person who is first is going to use their ultimate first. So make sure that that's the person you want to use it before someone else. So if one person does more damage when enemies are at high HP, put them first. Or if someone has some skill that they'll like execute after whatever it may be, you know, like extra damage when enemies are at low HP, those type of skills are going to be important for your hero order. And then also when it comes to ally attacks and counter attacks, they're going to do that in the order that they are. So your leader's going to be first, and then the second person, then the third person, then etc., right? So if I want the ultimates, let's say I'm worried that these two might not be fast enough, so I want to make sure Isolde uses her ultimate first. If it's ready, then you know what, we're gonna make sure she is there. So there is auto battle here. Let me take this off auto though, so I can show you guys some in-battle things. But yeah, that is an important factor, is your order matters. I think it's the same as Raid, Shadow Legends for the Raid players, so that makes that easy. Now, in battle, you can long press on your skill to see the details. And same thing, all of the details are here, the multipliers, the debuffs. Okay. If you want to see what your ultimate does, you just long press on their avatar. Boom. You can read it. Now, okay, you read it and you don't want to actually use it? Click onto another skill. But you see how I was on that skill and I clicked? Okay, so let's say now Lady Jacques is up. If I want to select her core, you select it and then you can click again and it will do it. But if I was already on this basic skill here and I wanted to choose a target, you don't need to click again to say yes. Like if I click again to say yes, I want the basic. Ah crap, he just went and I didn't get to choose my target. So it always defaults to the basic skill. So if you come to a turn, you want to use your basic skill, you just simply click the hero you want to attack if you're doing that manually. If you want to switch to your core, you do that, and then you can do it like that way. If you want to just let the skill go because it's an AoE auto attack, then you can just double click and it will hit. Or if the skill is random anyway, you can just let it go. So now you can see Lady Jacques is ready. I'm just gonna let her be ready for a second and see if I can show you guys some more stuff. So here, we have a drop down on the right side. The info button now works, guys. So if you're like, what is this debuff that is on my ally? It's tiny, I can't see it. Here, or at the bottom, it's hard to see. You can see Ramses has Mend. And what does Mend do? You can click it. Enemy. Does my enemy have a debuff or buff? You can see it. Or disabled. You can see it. Now, this is the very earliest phase of this info board, so don't judge it too harshly. They did say this is going to improve a lot and provide a lot more info, but for right now, this is what it is, and it's a lot better than having nothing as before, so you can actually see what's really on your enemies. Another option, if you don't want to see much, is this interface button. You want to take a cool screenshot? Let's say we switch to POV mode, we go in 1x speed, we want to do a recording and watch some drama. Boom, there we go. We're just watching it like a movie. So fun. Boom. Sit down, bulk. So we're rolling into our next battle. This is 1x speed, so yes, it's slow. But look at the visuals for this. It's so cool. Bam. It's really great if you want to capture a special moment like we have. The Discord for Fateless has a event going on for great screenshots if you want to win some free merch. So I love that. It's super cool. Cool. Alright, so I guess the last thing to notice there, to mention there, would be the ultimates. If an ultimate is ready and it's glowing again, just click off of it onto a skill. Don't click it again. I think I said that, yeah. Then it will make it fire when you might not want to. But yeah, I guess that's more than 15 things that I had on this list. I threw some extra tidbits in there. So let's throw in one more tidbit. What's the deal with imprints, right? Let's head to the Sanctum. And we're going to go to the Anvil of Creation. So you're going to get these imprints from playing. And also, if your roster is capped, it turns into an imprint, your hero. So if you get some of the most amazing legendaries that you've been trying to hope you pull, they could accidentally just turn into imprints, which is fine, but it's not fine if you really were searching for certain heroes, so you just want to make sure you don't cap in your roster, so to crunch them ahead of time. Or turn a bunch into imprints if you like someone's passive. So a hero's passive, there's a lesser version of it as an imprint, and these are added to weapons. Or an imprint can be used as a duplicate for awakenings. So how do you get imprints besides farming and getting some naturally? You get them by here. So let's say we want to crunch tuck or tut. You can actually do that and extract, and boom, you will. I'm just gonna do it because I know I'll get more. Extract. Successfully extracted him. Continue. So now the imprint library, that is here. So how do you use it? Well, when you're in your screen upgrading your weapons, or you can go straight into here. Let's say you have a really great weapon that you just love, and you want to add an imprint. That is here. You add an imprint to get someone else's passive to the weapon. So use those wisely. There's some really cool ones that can come in handy. Extra freezes or chances to counterattack. or ability to heal like Isolde. That is how imprints are. But yeah, there's so many other things I probably can mention. But if you do have any questions, hang out in the Discord. Everyone's talking regularly. Or feel free to ask in my video and I will do my best to reply. Sorry if I was half cut off there a lot. I don't know, I was leaning. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the changes so far. There's been a lot of changes like the camera angles. And I'm really happy that my first legendary pull was the dang dragon. Like, how many games have a playable dragon? It's so cool. And there's some amazing rares that have really great skills that have been very popular for gameplay, so don't discount using the rares. Have some fun. Some of them really smack. And yeah, I'm loving it. I can't wait to play more myself, but now, back to work. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.